This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. Is this you? And I know you're going to say yes at some point. Maybe it was today, maybe it was last month or whatever, but you wake up and you're just not fired up. You just can't get it going. You feel like you're dragging. There's another cup of coffee. It's like, it's not that you're in a bad mood. You just can't get motivated. You're feeling just lethargic but you got a big day ahead. You got a lot going on. How do you kick it in gear? We're going to talk about that today. She is a transformational life coach. Love what she does. And we're always transparent here. We were both feeling that way today. So there's a reason that we're up and moving forward. It wasn't like that a few hours ago. Donna Day joins us once again on the program. How you doing?
Good. How are you? It's so great to be back.
Yeah, it's great to have you back here. I think it's so funny that you started talking about you were a little slower to move this morning. And I was feeling the same thing, and I don't know why. I was gonna go hit the gym. I'm like, I don't feel like doing that. I'm just like, I got to go take the laundry out. And not that I don't want to do my day. I love what I do, but I don't know. It was just hard getting moving. I don't have the answer why. You said you changed up something today or yesterday that may be why you're feeling, a little slower today, right?
Yeah, I actually started a new medication for my autoimmune. So I woke up and I just was like, ugh. And I was like, I was a little disappointed because I love coming on here, being all bubbly and everything. I'm like, how am I going to do that feeling like this? So, I did a couple steps that been working on with some clients to get them kind of like raise the vibrations and stuff for other things. But I'm like, you know what? Let me try it to like add that extra little like hop to my step in the morning, and I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, and I did it, and now I'm like this. So you know what? It definitely works.
What are you doing over there? Give us some of the secrets.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes when people wake up, you don't always leap out of bed like a Disney character, as we were talking about, we're always, sometimes you feel like you're kind of run over and the to-do list feels heavier. So the first thing I did this morning, was just simple breathing. So before I even went to get my phone, I just took a few breaths. And then it's kind of like imagining yourself plugging into source, like recharging your battery overnight. So, for even just 60 seconds, it can make a huge difference. So I just inhaled for like 4 seconds, held it for about four, and then exhaled for about 8 seconds. So very slowly. And I did it about 3 times. And just with that, I started feeling a little bit more lighter, not so energized at that point, but like, just a little bit not so like in the muck, it kind of just gave me a little uplift.
I know it's one of the best things for your breathing.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I'm embarrassed to say this because I do a lot of podcasts on it. I forget. I didn't even think of that this morning. That just, okay, stop, breathe. And you think of it this way too. You just woke up. You may not have been breathing. Maybe you might even have sleep apnea, and not even know. You might have a touch of that too. Breathing is just so important. I forget. I think most of us do. Thank you for the reminder. Wow.
It just kind of resets your nervous system, just by, inhaling and exhaling. But the key is to exhale slow, not like, you don't want to like hyperventilate. You want to do it nice and slow and really try to have your feet on the ground, because then you're grounded as well. Instead of like, just laying in bed or you're sitting Indian style and all that stuff, it helps more if you're sitting up and the air can clearly go from, top to bottom.
Yeah. Yeah. You can like truly be intentional about breathing and the way you breathe. And this came clear for me the other day. I was talking to somebody about a meditation I did, and this first one ever. I don't know if I shared with you. It was a cacao ceremony, and which is chocolate from the tropical rainforest. It's supposed to just open up your senses. After that was all out of the way, we laid down on mats and there was a facilitator and it was all about breathing. And it was focus on one thing you want to change in your life and follow me. And the breathing was the ticket to
Yep.
waking you, not only just waking you up, but getting clarity. And I'm going to say it was pretty intense what was going on in terms of the breathing. I was just following along and it was a lot of short
Yeah.
breaths. Everybody in the room 20 minutes later was crying. I'm not exaggerating
Oh, I believe
because of the
it.
clarity that came and
Hmm.
just all of that. And I didn't realize that it could have been just from the breathe. It was the breathing. If
Hmm.
it was a different type of breathing,
Yes.
but look what that did. Look what
Yeah.
that did. Look what it can do if you just take three intentional deep in, deep out, wait, all of that. Amazing. Just
Yeah.
amazing what it can do for you.
It really is. And then after that, I did a gratitude reset. And this kind of sounds like it's too much work in the morning, but it's just another way to kind of like, they're like jumper cables with gratitude, to raise your vibration. So you can like just think of three things that you're grateful for, big or small. And they can be so simple. It could coffee counts or tea in the morning counts that you're grateful that you have a cup of coffee, like as simple as that, or that you even had a bed to sleep in. Like it doesn't have to be anything that's like, oh, I'm so grateful that, I'm going to be doing this, and that today. No, it can be so basic.
Uh-huh.
But it shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. And that also helps give you that jump start to like move up in vibration.
It's a game changer. And I did, even though I woke up just like half awake.
Yep.
I grabbed my gratitude journal. My dog's in my face saying he wants to go out. I'm like, all I do is say the same thing every day. Just lay down. We're going out in a minute. Just lay down. We're going out. He doesn't know what I'm saying, but I just say it anyway. And I just grab my pen. I've gotten past the making it neat. I can't, I'm like, it's writing what, and yeah, I know what it says, but I'm
Yeah.
trying to just purge of things that I'm grateful for. And like you said, could be the most littlest thing, but that the little things are the big things.
Things. Exactly. And also, perfectionism in a gratitude journal is not necessary. That's for you. So it can be as chicken scratch or as neat as possible. So don't ever fret about
100%.
it.
You know what? You inspired me. Maybe two podcasts back. I keep a regular journal
Uh-huh.
and I've been finding myself like just not putting a lot down and just so I got out of the call it perfectionism where I'm not even neat, but now I can't even see what I'm writing. I'm like, but I'm jumping like, and I actually in a situation wrote in my journal as if I'm speaking to this particular person.
Yeah, that's
It,
fantastic.
it was really cool. Like and I just like writing fast, just the thoughts were like flowing out. Um, it was very impactful. It gave me a lot of clarity, a lot of release, comfort, things like that.
Yeah, and that's the power of journaling, because it's for you. You can release any type of emotion, any type of frustration, any type of, I mean, immense joy. That's like your private space, and then you decide
Mm.
from there if you're going to share it with others or just keep it there.
Nope.
Because sometimes it's just a tool to just get it out, so you have room for new stuff to come into your brain and heart and soul.
You know what it basically is, and I see this in a different way now with journaling. Um, that's your therapist, or can be.
Hmm.
In
Yep.
just a bunch of paper and a pen, that is your therapist. It's like you're speaking to somebody, but you're speaking to the most important person in your life,
Like,
you.
yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
really cool. All
It's
right,
powerful. So, all
what
right.
else? What else
So
you got?
after the breath and the gratitude reset, I like to say move your body. So, like you were saying, you could work out. That's how some people like to move your body, because energy and motion stays in motion, and that's what gets the momentum going for the day. So even if you only have like 2 minutes, it doesn't have to. You just have to do something. So you could do something like jumping jacks, stretch, or even put your favorite song on and dance, and just move to it. You don't have to like like be a professional dancer or anything. Just kind of move as you're making breakfast or, anything like as you're brushing your teeth or taking a shower, however you get ready for the day. And just,
Hmm.
dance like nobody's watching, because it's early. So no one is. And just kind of get moving, get your vibrations going but make sure the song, if you do song versus stretching or anything, is upbeat because that's where you want your vibrations to go. If it's kind of like down or like a little bit depressing or something like that, that's where your vibrations will go. So make sure you pick something upbeat that's happy and how you want your day to go.
Do you do this? Do you not a lot of us love cleaning, but I've like, one of those days you're waking up, I gotta clean, got hair, got pets, and all of that, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And once I put on some music and get into it and start singing and just like really get
Yeah.
into it, it turns fun.
Yeah. I mean,
Amazing.
music for me, I always have like portable speaker or speakers wherever I am, and I always play something. As long as it's not like I have to have a conversation with someone, I don't want it to interrupt. But if I'm doing something, it always motivates me to get going, and it kind of just puts a pep in my step. Music is so powerful. That could be a whole nother podcast.
You know, I'm gonna write that down and not just about the power of music, but the musical moments of your life and how it changed. Because I could go on for that is music is my message.
Yeah,
And I have so many like songs dropped into my head, and 5 minutes later something came true based on the song. Freaky
it's
weird, but that's where I get my downloads.
yeah, and a lot of people do, and
Hmm.
what is that? That's frequency. So you're, tuning into a frequency and you're now receiving, as you said, downloads from it because now you raised your vibration in order to do that. So music is a really big tool when it comes to raising your vibes and, attracting abundance and everything. And it works for people in all different ways. But that's why I said we could have a whole nother podcast just on music.
Love that idea. And I've never done that. I've, mentioned music here and there, but
Yeah.
really think about those moments, and we'll circle back to that.
Yeah.
How music impacted you, changed your outlook, all of that. Yeah, very powerful. And I think we forget it is about the vibration. What is
Yeah.
music? It's a vibration. All it
Yep.
is.
Yep.
All it
And
is.
it's you're just connecting and aligning with it.
100%.
Yeah.
Other suggestions how we can I like what you said. I haven't heard it in like decades. Pep in your step when you
Yeah.
first wake up. How can we do that?
So also connect with your vision. I mean, that sounds also a little bit like elaborate, but just, why, what are you doing for the day? Like, what is your why for the day? Why do you want to get up, feel energized and start? Like, do you have like a business meeting or like, you have to get the kids to school on time or whatever your why is of why you're getting up. Like for me, it was, a first thing was to come on this podcast and I wanted to have, positive energy and be energetic and make it a really great show so it can impact others. So for me, that was my why this morning of like, come on, you got to get with it. You don't want to be like, oh, okay, Steve, like, like kind of like, I'm not feeling good today. Like, like I didn't want that energy because then that would translate all through the frequencies of the podcast to every individual that's listening. And that's no way to start your morning.
100%. And I give you credit. I don't know how you were feeling, but I would not even detect it.
Yeah.
You're just your energy's always good. I don't worry about that. Um, there's a song by the New Radicals. Uh-oh, I'm pivoting over to music, but
That's okay.
you give what you get. I don't know if
Hmm.
you remember that song. It came
Yep.
out
Hmm.
like in the 90s. It's kind of that, whatever you
Yeah.
put out there, you're going to get back. So why not put out the good stuff in terms of, vibrations and all of that, right?
Yeah. It even comes to like when you're cooking for people, like if you're not feeling good or if you're sad or like, you're not in the best mood, you're putting all that energy into other people's food. So like it can be anything that you're transferring vibrations and frequencies. So
How many times do they say, I don't know what it is. When grandma cooks, it just tastes so much better. What and what grandma says, oh, well, I'm putting love in it. I put
Yeah,
love into what I cook. It's true.
exactly. There is truth behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really believe it. And I didn't see it until I started recognizing it. And even if you look at a chef who loves what they're doing, like they're just in a great mood, they want to please people with the
Yeah.
dishes and they put that extra, here's the word, energy into it.
But
Game
yeah.
changer. It's a game
Oh, it
changer.
totally is.
Hmm. All right,
So,
what else we got to feel better?
so then number five would be a affirmation or like a power statement for yourself. So you can say, like if you're a teacher, like I'm a powerful teacher, helping young minds, grow and expand, or like whatever area you're in, or everything is working together for my good, or I'm guided, resource supported, or just something like I'm so fortunate that I have so many friends or family or people around me that love me and help get me going for, like through hard times or anything. It's just some type of like affirmation or power statement in for the day. And so it just depends on who you are, what you do, and who surrounds you.
So with the affirmation, a lot of times my mind gravitates to the I am statement. I am, insert, words to describe
Yep.
you or phrase. I am resilient. I am powerful. I am creative. All good.
Yeah.
But power statements, I never think of it that way. And those are some of my favorites. Like I've got them all over. Like I put them like on my vision board. I heard this one recently.
Yeah.
Show me how good it gets.
Yeah.
Show me. And then what do I got down here? I write stuff down. I keep a notebook. I keep anytime I
Ah.
hear it. I don't know if you told me this one. I know what I need to know right now.
Yes.
It's right there. See, I wrote it down. Not even kidding. Um, yeah, that's on that page. But yeah,
Yeah.
they make such a like when you start thinking of them, they make such a difference in your life. The
Yep.
one that started the me journey, if you will, like realizing all of this stuff is I would call it a classic, but everything I need is within me now.
Yep.
And I know it's easy to say that, but I believe that. It's like just looking at everything, evidence, your body can heal itself. You
Yep.
can heal you. Everything you need a decision. You got to come up with a decision by
Yep.
3 p.m. today. You already know the answer.
Yeah.
You know what the answer is because nobody knows you better than you. You just got
Exactly.
to hear it. That's the challenge, right?
Exactly. And like my affirmation for this morning, because I went through all of this myself today, so was I choose to bring my best energy today in everything that I'm doing. So that was my affirmation for this morning.
All right, I gotta write that one down. Well, let's dissect that, right? Say that again. I choose
I
to.
choose to bring my best energy today in everything I do.
So what I see here is one word that really stands out. I choose, or two words. I choose,
Yep.
because we forget we have a choice
Yep.
in everything. Everything. Things happen to you. I get it. People do things. I get it. But you can choose how you want to react to it. In that
Yep.
statement, you're choosing to bring your best energy. So now you're calling from within. Let's bring this on.
Hmm.
Um, Today, living in the now,
Yep.
living in the now. I'm dissecting that for you
Well, I appreciate it.
in everything I do. So that applies to obviously everything.
Yep.
That's powerful stuff there. Yeah, it's not just a couple of words. They mean a lot.
Yeah. So, but I also like when I do things like this, I just like people to know that I live what I say, like what I talk about and everything, I do myself. And, if I don't find that it's really effective, I'm not going to talk about it or try or, share it with another person. So that's
Well,
why.
as a transformational coach, I truly believe that's what makes you different in that you're very authentic. And I said that from day one when I looked at your website. And a lot of us can use AI and change up pictures and get or portrait photography. It's a picture of you, I think, jeans and jean
Sweatshirt.
shorts and a
Yep.
t-shirt
Hmm.
hanging out just by a harbor, and that's just you. And I was like, this is like she's real. She walks the walk, talks the talk. That's what where it comes different. Did you feel in your life, Donna, at some point you weren't really being you?
Oh, yes, totally. I would always I always call myself the chameleon. So like I would, I'd be me, but I would kind of bend and flex to the needs of everyone else around me. So if someone wasn't comfortable with something or if someone didn't like something, I would kind of like adapt to their needs instead of just staying true to myself. And part of why I got sick is because I was doing that because that takes more energy. It ends up draining you completely because you're not being true to yourself. So you're, being expansive with energy towards others for their good, but you're not being true to yourself. So instead of it filling your cups and theirs, it drains them. So and when you do that for years and years and years, it usually turns into some type of what they call quote unquote disease,
Yeah,
and I got hit with autoimmune, and most of that, that is a lot of the times is from being overly run down or trauma or abuse and things like that because you're not filling yourself. You're giving so much that your body's like, I'm shutting down now.
I
Like,
get
time
it.
to.
You know what? This is a harsh analogy, but I think it explains it. It's almost as if you're a thief on the run.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't do anything wrong, but you're always on guard. You're not really being you. You
Mhm.
know you're not being you. It's almost as if you're on the run. Like you're
Yeah.
you're not in your own comfortable skin. You're
Mm.
putting on a show. I don't mean you in general, but when
Yeah.
we think we need to do that for many reasons, and
Yeah,
even up
there's
until a year ago, I had epiphanies that, I'm not really being me. And I share with you a men's group, and now
yeah.
it's all about being masked down. You got to be you. But I asked this question: is it okay to at the core be you, but bend a little bit. The way when I hang with my friends, I'm not going to say the same stuff that I'm going to say to, let's say, my daughter or let's say a client. It's a little bit, you try to make it as much of you, but maybe there's a different part. And they say we have parts to our personality, not split
Yeah.
personalities, but parts to our personality. Is it okay to bend a little bit in those situations?
Well, yeah, to me, I don't really consider that bending. I consider that more maybe like censoring. So like you're, depending on someone's age or someone, like
Okay.
you may not have friends that always agree with certain views you have. So you're kind of censoring yourself just, so you can enjoy the parts that you do have in common. Or like
Okay.
with your kids, you're censoring yourself because they're younger. So do they really need to know all that other you know what I mean? So like you're showing that side. So to me, that's more censoring. When you're bending, it's like you're completely changing your own beliefs, your own values, your own like, you're just becoming someone who you're not just to appease someone else. That's
Right.
when I consider the full bend.
So you know what? I'm gonna censor is a little harsh. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
filter. We're the
Filter there.
we
Filter's
take
probably
we
better.
filter what we
Yeah.
say because maybe you don't need to say it. You
Yeah.
just, it's a different situation, but to the core, you're still being you. You're not being somebody that you want others to see you as, or you think they
Exactly.
want to see you as.
Exactly.
Hmm. Anything on the list we didn't hit up?
So there's just two more, but I'll do it quick because we're running out of time. One
Sure.
is just a micro intention. So it's just pick one thing that you can do, like in the next 10 minutes of your morning to create momentum. So it could just be like, okay, I'm, going to take a shower. and then do that action because action dissolves anxiety. So you're actually completing a task and it will kind of, bring down the overwhelm and the anxiousness of having to hustle while you're not feeling your best. And then, and it could also be something as just writing an email or, making the bed or drinking a glass of water. So it can be very simple. It doesn't have to be anything. It's just something you're committing to and following through with.
It's amazing that we don't realize what that can do for you. I don't love making my bed. I just don't. I find it boring. I'm going to say it. It's just like, I want to start my day. I don't want to, make this bed that, where's the productivity? Nobody's going to, who's going to see it? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But we forget the mindset of what it does for you, where you feel like you said, you've accomplished something. Just the comfort feeling. How many times you walk into a hotel room, it's like, oh, look at the bed. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You get the same feeling when you
Yeah.
come home after a long day and see your bed, like, oh, look at that. Yeah, it's inviting,
Yeah.
It's same thing with the breathing. I
Yep.
don't think that we realize what it does for us.
No, it's one of those things a lot of people take for granted without realizing it.
100%. Yeah. Somebody wants to connect with you and work on any of this stuff. Your website is mostly your name, right?
Yes, it's www.donnadaytlc.com. My email's the same at gmail.com, and my phone number is 201-719-6991.
Always great talking with you. I'm in a better mood now.
Me too. I got even more energy.
Exactly. I was already there, but now I'm like uplifted with all of these and awesome stuff. Next time or sometime soon, music. Music is the message. We're going to get to that.
I would love to do that.
Same. All right. I appreciate you and everything today, and we'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Excellent. Thanks for having me again. Have a great
Thank
day.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.